I'd like to start with now a wonderful individual, Rabbi, special person. He changed many lives. If you go on his website, divineinformation.com, you could probably see what he deals with on a constant basis, and very inspiring. As we know, Charles and Maria Bopal, two individuals, have been inspired completely by Rabbi Mizrachi and through his wonderful lectures. So there's no further ado, Bechavod, Rabbi Mizrachi, thank you so much.
Drink of water, it's okay. Good evening. I have the honor to participate tonight לכבוד ההילולה of the Ben Ish Chai, and I thank Rav Yehuda Azulai for inviting me here to speak tonight. And of course, thank you to Dr. Charles Bitbol and his wonderful family. You see right away, you don't need more than 2 minutes to see, Baruch Hashem, a blessing for the Jewish nation to open the house. And accidentally or not, we chose tonight to speak about the topic of Chesed, kindness, which include Achnasat Orchim, having guests, taking care of their needs, open the house for others. And we're going to give few good examples. One announcement I would like to make, that tomorrow night, Be'ezrat Hashem, I will be in Esha Torah in Thornhill. And that's a lecture about preparation for Rosh Hashanah. The Judgment Day is coming. We are less than 3 weeks before the moment of the year. Then the next entire year will be determined on these days between now and Rosh Hashanah, and every person has to be prepared to enter Rosh Hashanah as much as possible, to be ready as much as possible. That's tonight. That's tomorrow night. Tonight we're going to speak about Chesed. The Torah teaching us something very important. 3 foundations are holding the entire world. 3 poles. If you take one down, the building collapses. In our days, every building has at least 4 poles. Sometimes 6, sometimes 8, but you need 4. To the world of the creator of the world, he made 3 foundations. But if you take one table that have three legs, you take one down, the table collapses. What are the 3 foundations? The Torah, the Avoda, and the Gmilut Chasadim. Translation, Torah everybody knows. The learning of the Torah of Hashem, the book of the creator of the world that was given to us 3,321 years ago in front of millions of witnesses. The moment that changed the entire history. Every moment from then on will never be the same, after the whole world saw that there's a group of Hebrews that are very important to the creator of the world, the Jews. Only 13.2 million Jews are in the world, and unfortunately, not even 15–20% of them are following the instruction of this creator. Very little. Our jobs as those who respect the Torah and love Hashem and try to spread this Torah to as many ears that we can do is to try to save our brothers and sisters, that some of them are so lost that they have no idea what Judaism is all about. They have no idea. I meet Jews every day that you ask them who is Avraham Avinu, they have no idea. Who was Noah and the flood, they never heard about it. What Shema Israel, they don't know. Shulchan Aruch, they answer it's a cookbook. You're laughing and I'm crying. It's a sad joke. So the Torah says, the Torah, the avodah. Some people, they think avodah means to go to sell jewelry, or to be a doctor or a lawyer. That's not what it meant. Avodah means avodat akorbanot, the sacrifices that were taking place 830 years in the first and in the second temple. 410 years in the first temple, 420 years in the second temple, all together 830 years every day, 365 days around the year, include Shabbat, include Yom Kippur, non-stop, one after the other, millions. When King Solomon opened the first temple in Chanukhat HaBayit, in the first day, in the grand opening of the first temple, before that there was only a Mishkan, a temporary and portable temple, as they moved on 40 years with them in the desert. But finally, approximately 300 years after they entered the land, King Solomon built a building that cost more than $1 billion in our money. When the Babylonians came to destroy it, they entered Bet HaMikdash on the 7 days of Av, and they only burned it in the 9th. What took them almost 50 hours until they burned the building? Why did they have to do inside for 2 days and more? They were peeling the gold from the walls. The price of the gold dropped 50% in 1 hour in the whole world, when the world found out that there's so much new gold into the market now. That's how much gold it was. Billions of dollars. King Solomon sacrificed, I calculated how many sacrificed, thousands of cows, thousands of sheep, $145 million, according to today's prices, in 1 day. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to David HaMelech, don't feel bad that you're going to die. 70 years old on Shabbat, it's enough for me 1 day. 1 day that you sit and learn Torah, it's better than all the sacrifices that your son Shlomo is going to sacrifice for me in the future. Billions, trillions of dollars will not be equal to 1 day of learning Torah. 1 day of learning Torah in a yeshiva, 600,000 mitzvot. Whether you personally, physically sitting and learning, or you're sponsoring a person who sits and learns, you have a share in 600,000 mitzvot, which an average religious, traditional Jew who doesn't have so much time to learn, is busy with his businesses, probably will not do if he live until 700 years old. 1 day of learning Torah, and I'm not joking. 1 day of learning Torah is more than an average religious guy who get up and come to shul and come to slichot and come to mincha and arvit and give donations here and there and do mitzvot. Not that he's sitting home and do nothing. But 1 day of learning Torah, it's already more than his entire life. If you add all the mitzvot, Shema, Birkat Hamazon, Tzitzit, Tefillin, how many? 20 a day, 30 a day, 50 a day? 50 if he's lucky. There are 2 ways to triple your reward by the second. Triple your reward. 1, to support Torah, and there is 1 thing it's even greater than that. Who knows? 1 thing that can bring you even more profit. 1, saving Jewish souls. Lost Jewish soul who have no idea what Judaism is, what Hashem is, what Chesed is. I'm going to talk about Chesed soon. They have no idea. You give them a CD, you invest $1 in them, and you change their entire life. They listen to thousands of hours of Divrei Torah from one rabbi to another all day, in the iPad, on the phone. Everywhere they go, in the office, in between customers, they still do business, but now they make 1,000,000 times more. That's the difference between investing correctly or not. What is the avodah today when we don't have Bet HaMikdash? the davening, the prayers. Since we don't have sacrifice, Chazal says, "Uneshalma farim sfatenu." We pay the cows with our lips. We don't have the altar anymore. So what we have to do? Talk to Hashem, beg Him, pray for Him, ask Him for mechila. That's instead of sacrificing all this sheep. And what is the third foundation, which without it, it's impossible to survive? What is it? Gmilut chasadim, kindness, doing for others, the opposite of being egoistic. All of us know that the Satan and our evil inclination is doing everything he can to convince us to do everything for our stomach and only for our stomach, nothing for anyone else. Our job is to tell the Satan, don't fool me. Once, twice you did it, you won't do it again. I'm going to give my entire life for others only for one reason, because I am egoistic. Let me explain. Someone who loves himself and is clever. There are many people who love themselves, but they're not so clever. Someone who loves himself and is clever, and at least you can do something great with this love. What is it? Do for others. Everything you do for others will stay in your next life for eternity in your possession. Everything you do for yourself, nothing whatsoever would left by you. Whatever you did for others, Hashem wired into your eternal account, and you're going to eat from it for eternity. What's the proof that I'm right? I give you hundreds of proofs. One of them we say every morning in a prayer. אלה מצוות שאדם עושה אותם בעולם הזה ואוכל מפירותיהם בעולם הבא, right? ואוכל מפירותיהם בעולם הזה והקרן קיימת לו לעולם הבא. Translation, those are the mitzvot that a person does in this life, and he eats from the fruit of the tree in this life. Money, health, success, that's already here, but that's not even the reward. The main reward is, and the principle and the actual tree is waiting for him for the life of eternity. Where does it say in the Torah that a Jew have life of eternity? Maybe the rabbis made it up. Don't be fooled by everything you hear. You have to check. Not everything you heard in the history was all correct. You got to check what's correct, what's not. Where does it say in the written Torah that the Jew have life of eternity? I can tell you many places, but let's say two. One. Le'ativ lecha ulevanecha ad olam. I'm going to benefit you and your children for eternity. When this blessing came, after Hashem requested us to listen to Him, to follow His ways, to keep His commandments, for that He promised us to benefit, to reward us and our children for eternity. And in another place He says, I'm testing you, I'm strict with you, like a father who loves his son. Every day I'm testing you to check what's in your heart. Do you love me or not? Which means, do you appreciate all the things I'm doing for you? Or you don't have time to think about it? That's really what it means. And what comes right after? What's the purpose of this test? To reward you in your end. Which means when life will end, the reward will begin. It's an insult to think that the reward of such great things that God say to us to do will be 20 or 30 or 40 years in this world. A house, a pool, diamond, a watch, a nice car, vacation. Someone who thinks this is the reward for the mitzvot is not only mistaken, is literally dreaming. If a person made one blessing for a fruit that he ate and died, and that's all he did in his life, already the entire world would not be enough to pay him for the reward of one apple. What's the proof? The worst person ever lived. And it's not Adolf Hitler. There was one worse than him. Nebuchadnezzar. You heard about him? Nebuchadnezzar the Midget, the king of Babylon, 2,600 years ago, destroyed the temple. And one day he saw that the sun is not going down. 10 o'clock at night, it's still sunny. He sent a messenger to Yerushalayim to ask King Chizkiah what's going on. I don't have time to tell the whole story. But the bottom line of that story was that first he wrote to the king of Israel, to the people of Jerusalem, and in the last minute he got up from his chair and made 3 steps. And he put the name of God in the beginning of the row, which before it was the end of the row. Now he moved God into the first word of the ladder. That's all he did in his whole life. Everything else he did was murdering and torturing people. And I'm telling you, whatever Hitler did is not coming as bad as him. And someone like him owned the entire world for 70 years for 3 steps, 3 lousy steps that he made from his chair. He got up, he went 1, 2, 3. He got the ladder back, he corrected it, he gave it back to the messenger on a horse, and that's the only good thing he did in his life. And the Torah says Hashem paid him. 45 years was the king of Babylon, the strongest empire that owned the entire world. Every person in the world paid him taxes. Much more than all the billionaires you know today. The billionaires of today, they have limitation. But he owned the entire world literally. Every person paid him taxes, and it was up to him to decide how much. And his son was 23 years old. 23 years the king after him controlled the world. And his grandson, 2 years. For what? For 3 steps. And this is a despicable, wicked goy that hated God. And this is how much he gave him. So now let's calculate for 1 hour or 2 hours that you're sitting here tonight, how many worlds Hashem owes each one of you, multiplied by how many thousands, compared to how many people are here, compared to all the Jews in the world. This is only in 1 hour. Multiply by 70 years, it's billions of worlds. Where Hashem's going to get physical worlds for us? Where? There's only one world, and it has to be divided by 7 billion people. The answer is everything, 99.9999% until tomorrow. It's all for the life of eternity. Now, one way to earn a great place in life of eternity, ladies and gentlemen, is Chesed, kindness. Now, this is in relative to Torah and to sacrifices, it's much easier. I'm going to explain. To learn Torah, not everyone is a genius. You have to be smart to learn Torah. Not every person is capable of understanding Gemara and Rashi and Tosfot and Maharsha and going 4 or 5 times again and see things and remember it and the next day and compare it to another Gemara. You got to be a genius to know very well. Zohar, Kabbalah, it's even higher. You know, so no matter what part of the Torah you touch, you have to be a clever person. Some people have problems, they have no patience. They're so busy with all the things that they have in their life, depression, children, divorce, problem, sicknesses, all kinds of problems. So even when they come to learn, they cannot focus more than 1.5 minutes. That's the reason I started to make a lot of 10 minutes lectures. Where people told me, trust me, make a 10 minutes lecture, at least half of the people will get the point. You speak for an hour, 1 out of 100 listen. Why? They can't think. Why? They are not used to think. They did not grow in Ponovich Yeshiva. Their parents were hard-working people. In the countries where they grew up, there was no mentality of learning Torah from morning to night. People are not used to it. So what's the solution? Sacrifices we don't have today. Also, it's very complicated. In the time of Bet HaMikdash, a person has to take a carriage and take a ship all the way from Tiberias to Yerushalayim, 2 weeks to go up to Yerushalayim with a horse or with a donkey, and all day in Yerushalayim, and 2 weeks to go back to his home. 1 month is out of his business. Most likely, one sin that a person did on Shabbat, not intentionally, already his businesses are bankrupt. Why? Because it's not like today, you get into your BMW and 1 hour later you're in Yerushalayim. You have to go 2 or 3 weeks until you get there. And the carriage is broken, you have to sit and fix it for 5 hours with your hammer, and then somebody maybe will help you out. Believe me, every little sin was very heavy pain. People felt it. That's why people didn't make such many sins. Today, people make a sin, 2 minutes later they tell a joke. They don't even remember that they just destroyed the wall 2 minutes ago. Why? It didn't cost them yet. The credit card bill did not arrive. Everyone who gets a credit card in America, I don't know, in Canada, right away go on a shopping trip. Over here in the mall, this, over here, all day, all week is celebrating. By the end of the month, the joy turned into tears. Painful tears, not happy tears. Why? Now the bill, the penalty, the interest. Now it's time to pay. And sometimes it takes 20 years to pay for 1 minute of pleasure. So, the easiest way for ordinary people that don't have that much time to learn Torah, what is their solution? To invest time and money and efforts to help others to do the right thing. Why? If I'm a loser, let me take my money and put it by the winners to make me a winner. If I'm not the best basketball player, I cannot be. I can try as much as I want, I won't do. If there was a way to pay someone and I get the fame, that would be a great solution. Don't have to worry. Here, let me be your partner. Here, learn for me. Here, make people religious for me. Here, do Bikur Cholim for me. Just because here I met Mrs. Ben Zaken here, and she's doing Bikur Cholim here in Canada. In New York, it's many years Bikur Cholim. Every hospital, they have rooms. It needs a lot of money for it. But to go to the sick people in a hospital and cheer them up, Rabbi Akiva went to visit his student. None of the rabbis remember that student. When Rabbi Akiva came there and came out, the student told me, Rabbi, you revived me. Rabbi Akiva says someone who can go and visit the sick and not going to do it is like Chas v'Shalom, a murderer that helped him to die. And when a person comes to visit the sick, what do you think? He has to bring him chocolate or a glass of whiskey? What's the point of visiting the sick? To cheer him up, to help him, to take him out of his depression, to tell him, no, don't worry, you'll be out of it, everyone is praying for you, we'll do everything to help you. This is the idea behind it. Not just to sit 5 minutes, go out for a cigarette and 2 phone calls and come back and say goodbye and leave the chocolate or the flowers or leave. That's not Bikur Cholim. And if a person did 5 hours visitation and did not pray for the sick person, it counts almost nothing. Because the entire thing is to come cry to Hashem. And every person who does Bikur Cholim, what happened? He take 1/60th of the sickness of that person. Which means, if a person has 100 kilo of suffering, and I went to visit him, 1.5 kilo, I took it away from him. Not to me. Nobody ever suffered from doing things for others. No one. No one. You have to remember, the Gemara says, "Le'olam en adam me'ani min tzedakah." A person that gave charity and donations never ever lost a penny from his pocket for the money he gave. Everything he gave is guaranteed to return to his pocket in his lifetime. Guarantee. And now he's going to get a huge reward for what he gave. Let me read to you some of the things that our rabbis taught us in the Gemara. The Torah says like this, כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד בפיך ובלבבך לעשותו. Deuteronomy 30, דברים למד. כי קרוב אליך, Hashem is saying to every Jew, is very close to you. The things that I'm ordering you to do, it's in your mouth, it's in your heart to do it. 3 different categories. It's in your mouth, it's in your heart, it's in your hands to do. What's the difference? Do you think there's an extra word in the Torah just out of nowhere? It's a divine book. What do you think? It's an Israeli newspaper writer that got up in the morning and didn't have his coffee and he was writing extra words because he's angry? What do you think it is? This is a divine book. Every letter over there, no matter for eternity, you try to calculate, you never go deep enough to know why Hashem made this vav here and here not. There's so much to learn. They used to learn months, to get one word extra by the Rambam, Maimonides, not the Torah. He lived only 800 years ago. They were sitting in Yerushalayim, the brisk, from morning to night to understand why in this chapter the Rambam wrote it like this, and over here there's an extra word. For days, and until they came up with a solution. These people are not what you think they are. It's not the rabbis of our generation, with all due respect. This is giant, legendary people that if they would come today to one visit here on the street, the whole world would shake from their level of holiness. Maimonides, his statue is in Washington as one of the 18 greatest people ever lived. And I always like to say this joke, if they only knew all the Chachamim in the Talmud, Washington would be full of rabbis. They just heard about the doctor, because doctors in this world get a lot of respect. Why? You see them in a hospital. Rabbis get respect only for people who appreciate Torah. Doctors get respect from everyone, because everyone appreciates doctor. He saved my life. But who is more important? A doctor that give you 20 years if he saved your life. Assume it was him. He was a good messenger. If he saved your life and you live 20 more years, or your rabbi that saved your soul and brought you to billions of years of eternity of the greatest pleasure you can imagine, as Hashem promised in the Torah, who deserve much more respect and gratitude? The one who saved you from your back pain, or made you walk straight, or help you now not to have migraines anymore, or took the cancer out of your body, which you deserve a lot of gratitude. Don't get the wrong impression here. Or someone who saved your soul for eternity. Chazal compare between your father and your rabbi. Both of them are in jails. There's only enough money to get one out. Your biological father or your rabbi. Who are you obligated to take out first? Your rabbi. How can it be? How can it be? He did not give birth to you. The answer is your father brought you to a temporary life, and your rabbi is bringing you to eternal life. You owe him a lot more. And there's so many other examples, but it's not the topic tonight. So, what are the three categories in this verse? One, listen good what's going on here. One is mitzvot that the person does with his mouth. Praying, learning Torah. What did I say? Three foundations to the world. Torah is one of them. So the Torah say, beficha, in your mouth. That's Torah. Ubilvavcha, what's balev? Tfilah. Tfilah, sacrifices. When a person brings a sacrifice, he makes vidui. Chatati, aviti, broken heart. Lev nishbar venitke, Elokim lo tifzeh. A broken heart, Hashem never turned down. But if the heart is very happy when you come to ask for mechila, for forgiveness, how a person come and smile in front of the judge, Your Honor, I'm very sorry that I like to murder. Let's try to start fresh from tomorrow with a smile. But if he comes with tears and a broken heart and he's fall on the floor and faint, maybe there's a chance. But if he smile and check his text messages while he's talking to the judge, you know, obviously he's not going to be productive. So, what's the third thing? La'asoto gmilut chasadim, kindness. What's fall into the category of kindness? Thousands of things, thousands. Give a ride to your friend on the street. You see a Jew on the street, it's raining. You beep. Do you need a ride? Where do you need? 5 blocks away. So what? So you drive another 2 minutes. Another $1 gas. So the Jew won't get wet, his suit won't get ruined, his hat, whatever the case is. Getting up people to come to the shul in the morning. You get up 10 minutes early and make phone calls. That's gmilut chasadim. Going to bury the dead person. Making a funeral to him. Gathering people to come and say Kaddish for him. Say Kaddish for someone who doesn't have children. Visiting the sick people. Having guests in your home. Taking care of their needs. Bring them as soon as they get to your home. What's a good host is? A good host right away comes to the guest. First thing, he has to offer him the bathroom. Why? How do you know where he came from? Maybe it's 2 hours on the highway, on the traffic, in a bus, in a train, in a plane. Not always this bathroom. He's a religious guy. He's not going to enter McDonald's to use the bathroom. It's Chilul Hashem. So he's thinking, what am I going to do? I'm not a dog. I got to find a place. First thing he comes to your home, he's embarrassed to tell you, oh, I need a bathroom. Some people are embarrassed. First thing, sir, if you need a bathroom, it's right here. Second thing, right away, show him his room. Third thing, offer him right away towels and shower. Right away, bring something to drink and put a meal to him. Fruits and a meal to eat right away. And the most important thing, don't drill in his head. Give him a peace of mind. If he's a rabbi, Rabbi, I have problems with my children. Can you help me? Can I bring my son? Can you give him a bracha? Can you test him on his test? Tomorrow he has a test. Give him an hour to rest. You don't know where a person comes from. There's laws how to have guests. It's not so simple. Shabbos meal. Shabbos meal. Who's to say that you're allowed to examine the person who came in Torah? What does it say here? What does it say here? What do you think? Everyone is Chacham Ovadia Yosef? That every question you ask him, he knows even when he sleeps? Some people don't know everything. He may know 9 out of 10. The one he won't know, you embarrass him in front of all the guests. And there's many, many other examples. So let's continue. The Torah says like this. You can see. The Torah says like this. When Hashem created the world, He created the world in a judgment. Judgment. Then He saw that very few people can last. People, it's too strict for them. And He mixed mercy, kindness, chesed. The Gemara says like this. פעם אחת היה רבי יוחנן בן זכאי יוצא מירושלים, the president of Israel in the destruction of the second temple. He was walking out of Yerushalayim, and he saw the Beit HaMikdash is burning, is destroyed. And Rabbi Yoshua was walking after him. Rabbi Yoshua was crying, "Oi, we lost our temple." It's the second time already. All our sins will remain now. How are we going to erase our sins? That's it. No more temple. Amar lo, Rabbi Yochanan told him, Bni, don't feel bad. How can you say don't feel bad in such a tragedy? You should know there is one more way to erase our sin. What is it? Chesed. Doing for others. Helping others, helping the poor, charity. Not waiting until he comes to beg. A week before the holiday, maybe he doesn't have anything in his home. The Torah said there are 3 signs to know who is a real Jew. None of us can guarantee that we are really Jewish. None of us. Even if your last name is Cohen, you could be a goy. Even if your last name is Levi, you could be a goy. Why? Do you know who was your grandmother 200 years ago? Maybe she was a fake convert. And then she integrated into the Jewish nation. And then few generations later, everyone is religious. Nobody knows that they're all goyim. And you could be a goy, you don't know. There's no guarantee. Nobody knows. But there are 3 signs to recognize a Jew. שי, ביישנים, רחמנים וגומלי חסדים. Shy, has manners, not arrogant, screaming, fighting all the time. Put his head down when it's necessary. What's the second thing? Have mercy. Someone has a tragedy on the news, on television, he sits and cries. Doesn't matter what a macho he is. He sits and cries. Why? A boy, today, just today alone, I got maybe 30 emails about a 6-year-old boy that got hit by a car, Hashem Yerachem, in his very bad condition. Everyone see it in the middle of their work, in the middle, and sending text to everyone. They just know to pray for the boy, and nobody even know who this boy is. Why? Rachmanim, mercy. Vegomlei chasadim. Gomlei chasadim, generous. Bringing people into their homes, taking care of them, sending other kids to yeshiva when their parents cannot afford. When the rabbi needs to give money to the people in yeshiva to learn Torah, they don't wait until he begs them and call 500 times, come tomorrow to my office, come next week, meet me next month, I'm going away, I'm going on vacation, when I come back. Before the due date come, he called the rabbi 10 times, Rabbi, I'm looking for you all day. Where can I meet you to give you the money? That's called Gomel Chasadim. Not someone who is embarrassed after the rabbi came to him 10 times, so he gives because he has no choice. That's almost no mitzvah. He gives in the end, and he lost 99% of his reward. Why? Stupidity. There's no other word. If you already do, you do it right. If you don't do it right, you lose almost everything. That's called Gmilut Chasadim. And remember, you don't do for them. Don't ever think you do for them. Everything you do for yourself. I'll give you an example. Two friends. They are in yeshiva. One of them maturing in a wrong direction. Is not so religious anymore. You know, half and half. What we call in Israel, datiloni. So, the parents of the religious one, they say, come on, this guy is not for you anymore. You're not kids. When he was a kid, he was a tzaddik. He's not such a tzaddik anymore. What do you do with a guy like this? He's going to ruin your reputation. Tomorrow you need to get married. They're going to tell you, tell me who your friend, and I tell you who you are. You're not afraid of it? They see you with this guy, the way he dressed, the way he talk, he's not learning. He said to him, listen, when this guy will do something bad to me, I would leave him. But so far he was faithful to me, he was good to me. I'm not happy with some of the things that he does to himself. But it's not fair for me being ungrateful for him for being a good friend for me. So he stuck with him. After many years, they graduate yeshiva, they're 18 years old. The righteous guy went to another yeshiva, sitting and learning all day in a kollel. And the other one went to Wall Street. It's a true story, listen good. It's not Wall Street, it's the Israeli stock market. This took place in Israel. So after a few months, they meet on the street. How are you, Moshe? How are you? He see that his friend is dressed very wealthy. Nice watch, nice suit. That's not the yeshiva bachur of a few months ago. He said, oh, I see life is very good for you. He said, yeah, I'm very successful. I make a lot of money. He pulled up his recent statement from his stock market account. He showed him tens of thousands of shekel in every transaction that he makes. This poor guy makes 2,000 shekel in a whole month, $500, that's it. In a best scenario. That's what a yeshiva bachur gets in Israel. Married one with 10 children. So, I know I have a yeshiva, that's all I can pay. What can I do? And this barely, after killing myself, 24 guys, times $500, is a lot of money every month. And $500, even the maid here make more a week than a guy who makes the whole world surviving. Someone who sits and learns Torah, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that thanks to him the world exists. But this is the world of lie. Over here, the people who are celebrating are not necessarily the important people. The ones who are having hard time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is testing them to give them a much bigger reward. So now the stockbroker, so the guy is telling him, listen, how about I'm going to take a loan from my bank, and I'll give you a few thousand shekel, and if you make so much money, maybe you'll give me some extra few $100 a month. You know, one day I have to marry my kids. He said to him, no, you know, we are friends. I don't want to ruin our relationship. He said, come on, after I see your statement here, you hardly ever lost. You only make money. You're a genius. Yes, no, okay. Come to my office tomorrow. This is the address. Bring me your money and I'll see what I can do. The guy gave him the money the next day, 20,000 shekel that he borrowed from the bank in 5 years with interest. He gave him the money, 10 hours. It's a true story, remember. If it wasn't a true story, no. Everyone can make nice stories. This has happened in reality. 10 hours later, 1987, the Israeli stock market and Wall Street crashed completely. First thing he does, this poor avrech, is trying to reach him on the phone, no answer. The phone is off. There was no cell phone. You have to call his house. The phone is off, it's off the hook, busy. 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, he cannot learn, the poor guy. If he lost his 20,000 shekel, that means 20 years until he's going to pay it back to the bank after knocking on doors, collecting tzedakah. So what happened now? 1 week he's calling. No answer. So I hope my friend didn't kill himself. That's what many brokers did. After 1 week, he picked up the phone. Oh, Baruch Hashem, I reached you on the phone. He say, oh, it's you. He say, yeah, don't worry. I know it's all from Hashem. I will never tell you one bad word. If you lost my money, it's my fault, not your fault. You didn't want it. He say, relax. Come to my office. I have your money. You're lucky. I didn't have a chance to invest your money yet. It's right here in my drawer. Come quickly. You have your 20,000 shekel right here. So, I don't have to tell you how he was dancing on the street. We have to dance on the street just because we are Jews. Homeless, no house, no wife, nothing. A little lousy suit. Just that I'm a Jew, I have to dance on the street. Why? I have eternity. I'm a son of Hashem. One fake Messiah became Christian. All of them bow down to him as the Son of God. Every Jew is really a son of God. A real son of God. But we don't feel it, unfortunately. So the guy is running, the Avrech running to his office. He sees him sitting, half crying. He takes out the envelope and he gives him the money. Few years later, he get a phone call. Itzik, yes, come to my office. I have a nice surprise. I heard that you're going to marry your daughter soon. How do you know? You know, the rumors, I meet friends from our yeshiva. They told me, come, I want to give you a nice amount of money. Why do you want to give me money? Don't worry, it's not tzedakah. It's your money. What do you mean? Come to my office, I'll explain to you. So he comes quickly to his office. He takes out an envelope, 80,000 shekel, enough to pay for the whole wedding, rent them an apartment for 1 year, even help them with a lousy car. Well, look at the car the Prime Minister of Israel driving. Every ordinary homeless here is having the same car. You know, you have to understand. Yeah, you know, a little Volvo, whatever. Anyway, fine. It's a different kind of economy, I guess. Anyway, so he said, what do you mean 80,000 shekel? He said, I tell you the truth. Remember when you came to my office a few years ago? I really did invest your money. But my heart didn't let me tell a guy who sits and learns Torah and have few children and live in a tiny room that I lost the money that he borrowed from the bank. So that's my own personal money that I have left. Mamash, my last dollars. I kept it for you and I gave it back to you. But then what happened is, I was crushed for 3 years out of a job, cannot make $1, leave myself from charity, from the Gmach, from Tomche Shabbos. One day, accidentally, I turned my computer in one of my accounts, and I see 160,000 shekel. I say, how can it be? I look at the record. This is the stock that I bought from you. It went down to zero, to few hundred shekel. I was so depressed, I forgot about it. Few years later, it started to come up. One big company bought them up, and they became very, very expensive, and that's half of your money. You understand? The guy left the yeshiva. He doesn't have much time to learn Torah, but this thing that he did, it's the only way to get back what you would got by sitting and learning Torah. I always tell this story. Maybe some of you heard it, but it's worth to repeat it again. I was giving a lecture in Queens, and a girl, 20 years old, come to me and say if I can find her a shidduch. I say, give me your information, I'll try. 2 months later, I came to that place. She didn't come, this girl. So I asked the husband and wife that are arranging the lecture, so how is it going, what's going on? I see your friend this time didn't come. She said, yeah, she just got married. I said, Baruch Hashem. One less in my list to find him a shidduch. So I say to her, very nice, I'm happy, Baruch Hashem. She said to me, you want to know how she got married? How she got married? Eliyahu Navi came. Well, how did she get married? I say, you know what, if she tells me this story, it got to be a secret here. I say, yeah, tell me how she got married. Now we have about 100 secular guys and girls, Israelis, sitting, waiting for a lecture of proofs. They have questioned if the Torah is from Hashem or not. This is the generation we live in. We have to prove to people that the Torah is divine. So She's telling me now the story. When she came with her parents from Russia, her parents were completely broke. They couldn't afford yeshiva. So, you know, they were waiting to find a sponsor that they can put her in yeshiva. So they went to a Russian organization who collect money from wealthy Russians and give it to poor Russians to send them to yeshiva. They got to a guy in Brooklyn, in Mill Basin, and he come to him and say, there is a girl, if you don't sponsor her, she go to public, 10, 20 years from now, she'll marry Chris and another Jew is gone. It's your choice. He wasn't religious bichlal, but he has a heart of a Jew. And he's a very, very rich guy. Big deal. So another $800 a month he give to save a Jew. So he said, okay, I'll sponsor her. And he started to give the money every year, checks in advance. One day, after she asked me to find her shidduch, she went to some place, a library or something. She sits over there. And an Israeli secular girl, not Israeli, American secular girl come to her and start to socialize with her. And then she said to her, I see you very religious. She said, yes. She said, I have a shidduch for you. The one with the mini skirt and the short sleeves, she offering these rabbits and a shidduch. So she said to her, what do you mean a shidduch? I'm very religious. Oh, she said, I have my brother for you. My brother. She said to her, but you know, I want a guy who sits and learns Torah all day. She said, that's why I came to you. I see you very religious. For real, not fake. Real skirt, real modest clothes. It's hard to find in these days. Real ones. 100% according to the halakha, it's hard to find. So what happened in the end? So she told her, my brother just graduated in Or Sameach. He was there for 6 months. He went, he came back now. He's mamash inspired and he wants to marry a religious girl. Let me set you up with him. What do you have to lose? She agreed. They went up a few times, perfect match. Now the parents have to meet each other. They give them the address, and the girl with her poor parents are going to meet the future in-laws. They find the address, they come in, the rabbi is from his yeshiva, everyone is sitting over there. In the middle of the lechaim, of the engagement party, they found out that the father of the Khatan is the man who paid her tuition for 16 years. You got it? I tell people, what are you thinking in your head, that Hashem is a liar? If Hashem say, open your hand to the poor, I'll give you 1,000,000 times more. Just wait, patience. It cannot be a minute later. There's no free choice. Everyone give $1,000 right away, make 1,000,000. So where is the choice? Everyone will do it. Arafat will give all the money he stole to the yeshiva, because he doubled it after a minute. Same thing Gaddafi, same thing Saddam, same thing Mubarak. All of them will get their billions, and the yeshivot have money enough until Mashiach come. Why? They doubled their money. But the idea is that you gave $1,000 and right away you came out and they tow your car. And you still believe Hashem that is not a liar. That's the test of life. That's called Gmilut Chasadim. And sometimes the guest is annoying. Do you have this? I don't like this towel. Do you have this kind? I don't like this. Do you have maybe this? Maybe the air condition is not cold enough. Annoying. Do you have something else? I don't drink water. Do you have maybe water in a bottle? You know, it's sometimes annoying. The more annoying it is, the more you're making. What are you complaining? The more you're making. It's a no-lose situation. It's a no-lose situation. Then one of the Caesar came to the Chachamim and said, if your God love the poor people like you say, why can't he feed them himself? Why he needs the rich people to beg them to give money for the poor? The answer is to save them from the fire of hell. Why? They don't learn Torah. They're busy all day with their businesses. The only thing can save them is feed the poor. And the answer is, the Gemara say, the more the rich is doing for the poor is doing for the rich. And that's the truth. The Gemara say what a person should do to get saved of the hard days when Mashiach would come. We are mamash moments before it will begin. Moments. The world is mature. Tomorrow I'm going to speak more about what's going to happen. The world is mature for the shofar of Eliyahu Hanavi and all the horrible prophecies that our prophets gave in the Tanakh, that the days before Mashiach come. Everything is ready, everything. Mentally, physically. We see what's going on in the world. Almost every week there's an earthquake somewhere in the world to wake up the people before the shofar will be sound. One person sent me an email. The amount of earthquakes in the last 30 years is more than 5 times than the earthquakes before, the 30 years before. And the 30 years before is like 5 times before the 30 years before that, which means every 30 years it's multiplied by 5 and much stronger. But there are hardly any casualties yet. The amount of casualties compared to how many earthquakes is still nothing. But when it comes, read Zechariah 14 to know what's going to happen. But us, we have an opportunity to save ourselves 100%. You know what it means? Billions of people are running like crazy on the street because everything comes to the final end and you get saved. Then you will appreciate every penny you put in a box, every CD you sponsor, every lecture you did in your house, every time you went to the slichot, to the shul, whatever, your wife modesty, the children is going from public to yeshiva, then you say, wow, how did I even consider not to do it? Right now people don't understand. They don't know how they're murdering their kids by putting them in public school to learn Ashafan Kibel Nazelet. They don't know it. Ashafan, Akatan, that's what they teach them. Yeah. Yes. All day ninja, give him a punch here, karate, this. No, they teach also Torah, Rabbi. We will talk in 10 years. Then you tell me if I was right or you were right. So far I was never wrong, not even once. Unfortunately, I wish I would be wrong all the time. I'm not happy to be right. If anything, I'm suffering to be right. I wish I always be wrong. And you be right. But I always going to be right. You know why? Because this is what Hashem said. Not me. So the Gemara says what a person should do. Ya'asok b'Torah u'b'gmilut chasadim. Learn Torah and do kindness to others, helping others. I have a guy from Florida, grew up like a complete goy, Moroccan guy, Beaton, grew up like complete goy, went to public school in Florida, do not know anything, nothing whatsoever, which is not typical for Moroccans. They keep in the tradition a little bit, but he didn't know anything. One time a person came to him, he has a good heart. He said to him, Beaton, you want to volunteer one night to wash the bodies of the dead people? He said, what do you mean to wash? What do they need a shower after they died? He said, it's a Jewish ceremony, it's tahara. Come. He said, no, I'm afraid, dead people, dead bodies. He said, okay, one time there's somebody was supposed to come, he's not coming. Come one night, help. So he went. 2 days later, he was in my Gemara class in Yeshiva in Monsey. Why? One picture equal like 1,000 lectures, not 1,000 words. When he saw a multi-billionaire guy, the Rolls-Royce limousine bring him, and all the fancy schmancy people coming like this, blowing air in his funeral, and he put the water on him, and he had to pick him up, and air is coming up in his eyes, and he saw what's the end of a person. Today, the richest guy in Israel died. 3 months ago, his brother died. 3 months, both of them died. The 2 richest guys in Israel. What all the billions and billions that they left would help them? Nothing. But sometimes they were clever. They used to be the first billionaire in Israel. The first one, his name was Shaul Eisenberg. The first billionaire when everyone was poor. Nobody could afford shoes. 60 years ago when the British were in Israel, he already had more than $1 billion. 60 years ago was doing business with the Chinese government in tons of business. He had a mansion in Savion. Believe me, everyone was poor, not like today. Today you have about 100 billionaires in Israel. Most of them Americans, but they live in Israel. But he was the only one. And he's a Holocaust survivor. When he was a kid, he got saved. And he had a cousin. And his cousin, she stayed religious after the war. And he was a little kid. He grew up not religious. After many years, the husband of his cousin say to her, Dvorah, why can't you go to your cousin? He's the richest guy in the world. Ask him for some help. We are going to have to marry our children starting in a few months. We don't have a penny. So she said, you know, after so many years after we came to Israel, I never asked, I never spoke, I never asked him how he's doing. Now I'm going to show up to his office in Tel Aviv like a beggar. He will tell me, all these years you didn't remember I'm alive. Now you come to ask for money. So her husband said, well, we are religious people. We're not afraid of embarrassment. So the embarrassment helped to erase the sins. So worst comes to worst, you get embarrassed and you come home. She came to his office and he was very happy to see her, smiling, was very kind. She said to him, Shaul, I'm sorry that I'm coming like this. I should have come a long time before, but I'm in a desperate situation. We are doing very bad. We don't have money. Maybe you can help us a little bit. So his words were like this. Why didn't you come to me 10 years ago? What did you wait for? Of course I will help you. Right away he wrote her a check for $100,000. This is more than 20 years ago. $100,000, which was peanuts for him. He make it in an hour. And he told her every month, give your address to the receptionist. Every month she will send you enough to leave you and your children forever. Don't ever worry about your parnasa. After many years, he died. All the presidents and the prime minister and all the big shot from the business industry came to his funeral. It was a very, very fancy funeral. Everyone was reading something from a book. You know, it's a beautiful sky. The sun is not shining. The cry is crying for Shaul. We lost a great business investor. Everyone talks about his achievement. You own this building. You are the first one who went into import. Like anyone cares about this nonsense before he goes to Olam Haba. So she gives all kinds, they all compliment him from his achievement here. Then his daughter came to her and said, Dvorah, maybe you say a few words for my father. You're the only relative that he has after the Holocaust. So she knows she's a religious woman, but she felt a great gratitude to him. She said, well, it's not modest, but I'm going to do it. She got up and she said like this, Dear Shaul, everyone here praised you for your achievement and what you left in this temporary world. I want to praise you for what you take with you to the life of eternity. You survived me, you sponsored me, and my children went to learn Torah for 20 years with your money. Each one of them got married and have children in Talmudei Torah. My husband learned Torah. We had great holidays. We have guests. We made few people religious with your money. And this is billions of mitzvot that you right now having with you to protect you. And guess what? Everyone was crying, include the goyim and the presidents. Everyone with their sunglasses were wiping their tears. Why? The truth is the truth. And there are moments that even the person that is completely in the darkness, there are moments that he wake up. Why? Hashem sent him a wake-up call. That's why the Torah says, what's better? To go to the wedding, to be mesameach chatan vekala, which is a great mitzvah, or to go to where they sit Shiva? Everyone, one answer, to go where they sit Shiva. Why? It's great to dance with the chatan and kala, achnasat kala, kala na v'chasuda, you have beautiful kala, you know, whatever. It's very important. But when you go to cheer people who mourn and sit Shiva and cry, not only that it's Chesed, you are getting finally a wake-up call. I'm the next one. What, I'm going to live forever? I live in my illusion, planning, I'll expand. Next year I'm going to make such and such. Before he realizes, Hashem say, I have other plans for you, my friend. Come, come. Sometimes a person asks too many questions. Prove to me Hashem is there. Prove to me that the Torah is from Hashem. Prove to me that the Gemara is from Hashem. I don't believe. The rabbis made it up. They add all kinds of things. I'm not convinced. Hashem, you know, you have too many questions. Come, come, I'll answer your questions. Come. That's what happened. You have too many questions, you don't want to get up, fine. Just before we finish, because time is running out, the Gemara says like this. There used to be a prophet named Hulda. Hulda, she was a relative of Prophet Yirmiyahu, about 2,500 years ago. And she had a husband. Her husband, his name was Shalom ben Tikva. And all day, she told him, you sit and do chesed to other people. Wash things for them, help them with bags on the market, running like a servant. Come, lady, let me help you. Come, sir, can I help you? Can I help you cut the grass? Can I help you pick up oranges from the tree? Can I help you clean? Can I help you pick up your donkey? Can I run for you for the market? Can I babysit? All day, servant. The husband of the prophet of Israel. Prophet. Hashem sends her messages. And the Gemara say, thanks to his chesed, she used to get more and more prophecies from Hashem to teach you the level of Gomel Chasadim. You know, I know one rabbi who he came to a place and he saw 5 brothers, all of them big rabbis. And all of them tzaddikim, but real ones. So he asked one of them, tell me, what is your merit? What was your father doing right that he has 5 sons like you, each one like an angel? I'm not sure which one is holier than the other. So he told him, I don't know, but I can tell you only one story about my father. Maybe it will help you to understand. My father was in business, and he had one competitor that used to give him hard time in business. Everything he does, he copy. Supposedly he's hurting his business. But Hashem didn't like it, and he made the competitor go bankrupt. And the marshal came, and they picked up all the furnitures and everything from his showroom. And they took it to an auction. And when my father heard it, not only wasn't happy that his competitor collapsed, because the Torah says when your enemy collapses, don't dance. Don't dance. In the end, everyone gets what they deserve, but don't dance. When the Egyptians were drowning, the nation of Israel wanted to say Hallel. Hashem say, my creation is drowning, is getting destroyed, and you want to dance and sing? The worst enemies, the enemies of God, I made them. After all, I have a pity on them, that I have to destroy them. They're all drowning now. The horses are drowning. Why are you happy? So he said, not only my father, not only he wasn't happy, he ran right away to the place, to the yard, when he knows they're offering tomorrow their stuff in the auction, and waited for the truck to arrive. And when the truck arrived, he said to the one in charge, don't pick up all the furnitures and bring it in. Leave it on the truck. How much I can give you to send the truck right back to where you took it from? So they agree. They look at the furnitures. He paid everything. And he sent all the furnitures back to his competitor and put him back in business. This is a kosher Jew. Why? Parnassah is from Hashem, not from the lousy furnitures. Parnassah, it's not from your business, not from the ice cream, and not from real estate, and not from the diamonds that you sell. It's all an illusion. It's how much Hashem wants to save you, and now he's going to find a way how. That's all. He wants you to make it here, you can make it there. I personally, in the things that I'm a genius in, I only lost money. And the things that I have no idea, Hashem sent me my parnassah out of nowhere. Why? To show me, hey, sit quiet, you little, I don't want to say what. I have mercy on myself. Just give me 2-3 more minutes and we'll finish, and then if you have questions. Hard for me to read. So I got to alter completely the lecture because I don't see in my book anything. But I'll tell you one more story. I know stories are giving us the message better than another true story. There was one father that has a paralyzed boy on a wheelchair. And the boy, he graduated Yeshiva Ktana. He has to go to 9th grade now. And the 9th grade, the school is much far away from home. There's no buses. He's a handicapped man, He's on a wheelchair. And the father, the Chesed, decided that he has to get a car. He has to get a car. So he goes to a yard where they sell used cars. He doesn't have that much money. He's not a rich guy. And he wants to buy now, he wants to buy a car. There are 3 partners. They have a say in America, stay away from used car salesmen. Why? It's a very hard temptation to cheat. Very hard, very hard. You have to be extra honest not to fool your customers. So what happened? There are 3 crooks over there. And they are thinking now, oh, look at this naive Chesed. That's a great bread for breakfast. Let's see how we're going to get all his money and give him a dead car. So they have a car with the transmission is finished. What do? They put extra liquid in the transmission and it drives 2 more days. And then the car died. They have all these tricks. So now when they see the guy has no idea about any cars, he say, I need a car with a big trunk. This car had a big trunk because I have to put the wheelchair, and they see the boy outside on the wheelchair. 2 of them say to him $8,000. And now one of the partner, even though he's a big crook, he still have a heart of a Jew. He didn't die completely. So he felt, how can we kill this boy? How can we kill this father with this boy? Not only his life is miserable as it is, look how much he's going through. We're going to put the knife in his back and bury him completely? Not out of belief of Hashem, that Hashem will destroy him. No. Out of mercy that he had in his good heart. He felt mercy on the man, so he's decided to save him. So he's saying to him, listen, you can get other cars. Look, we have this car, we have this car. Why you focus on this car? Now his partner looking at him say, hey, the deal is finished. Why are you driving the man crazy? He's saying to him, listen, can I show you other cars that we have? Come outside, I want to show you. This Chesed doesn't understand. And he doesn't get the point. And in the meantime, the other guy said, okay, put the money, count. So then when he was just about to put the money on the table, the partner screamed, don't! This car is finished. There's no transmission. One day and it's going to die. So the Chesed is saying, wow, what are you saying? He said, yes, don't buy this car. This car, we bought it for a few dollars. It's a finished car. Take it. Take your money and don't buy it. The Chesed say, thank you, I appreciate it. I'll never forget it. Thank you. It's my only money. I borrow. He left. The 2 other partners broke the chairs on his head. Send him to the hospital. Once he came out of the hospital, they took him to a mafia guy, which is judging cases like this between all the crooks. So the mafia guy decided that he has to give them their share in a car. $8,000 divided by 3. Each one of them has to get almost $3,000. Obviously, that was the only money he saved, how much money he had. He gave them the money and they kicked him out of the partnership. 1.5 years, he couldn't find a job. He's a mechanic. Every garage he went, no job. Now he's not religious, and his wife is not religious. And his wife constantly tell him, you know what? Even if we starve, we won't have what to eat. I'm going to be proud of you for the rest of my life for what you did. That's how she keeps him going. He's trying, frustration, he's putting his resume here and there, no job. After a year and a half, he said, wow, maybe I was too righteous. Maybe I should have not. He's having second thoughts. So the wife said, no, don't worry. Then he gets an opportunity to go on an interview at a terminal of buses in Yerushalayim. To fix buses. Not easy to walk on a bus. He goes to the place, he sees maybe 30 mechanics sitting outside. One job, 30 mechanics. What's my chance? He goes in, he sees a committee, all of them Hasidic. It's owned by Hasidic company. It's a religious transportation for the kids. So they interview him. What experience you have? I was a salesman, car salesman. But how many years you work as mechanic? 2 years, 15 years ago. It's all written. We need someone who knows how to work on buses. What knowledge you have? I don't know. We get back to you. You already see there's no chance. He's going out. He said, I wasted my time coming here. Just when he go down the stairs, from the window, One guy says, excuse me, they want to see you back. Come back, come. He comes in, and one Chassid asking him, tell me, you used to be a car salesman in that street, in that yard over there? He say, yes. Hasidim all look alike. So he said to him, remember how you saved me? I came to buy a car. Then after that, I found a job here. Now I'm on a committee. You got the job. And they made him the manager of the place after a few months. And he made him religious. That's the best part. Everything you do for others, good or bad, you do bad, comes back to you like a boomerang. You do good, comes to you and your children, and Hashem will never forget you. Just have trust in Him. I want to thank Rav Yehuda Azulai and the great family of Bitbol and Jesse Revivo and Michelle Kahn and all the people who always helped me to come here. And I'm sure I forgot few of them, but please forgive me. And hopefully I want to see every one of you tomorrow. Tomorrow it's a critical lecture. Not because it's me, because it's 3 weeks before the Judgment Day. Everyone wants to get a good advice. How we should have a much better year in perhaps the most critical time in history. And that's not what I said. It's all the Gdolei Torah say. We are entering time, also the autistic kid says. We are entering now time in a world that nobody ever saw in history. Not in a Holocaust, not in Yetziat Mitzrayim, not in the destruction of the temple. The world is going to the final battle. What's going to save us tomorrow night, Esha Torah? What time? 8 o'clock? 7:30. Please be on time. And thank you very much, and good night.